Hi guys, hope you're good. So this video, we're going to be talking about in a fat loss phase, what are some of the techniques we use. So before we get into it, first things first, so what we're trying to do, the whole goal within the fat loss phase, and just to set a bit of context, we're not talking about pro bodybuilding, we're just talking about, the average person who has got into working out. Maybe they've done a bit of a bulk and they've basically been at slight surplus of calories to up their strength, build muscle. Now you come into a point where you can only take that bulk so far. The body fat has gone up to nearly 20%, and now we want to start to bring things back down a bit and try and reveal some of our gains. So the first thing to talk about is you don't want to go too aggressive, because if you go too aggressive, you'll get some results, but what you'll find is your body will just adapt to you cutting your calories aggressively. So what will happen is basically you will plateau after a while, because what happens is, suppose you're at about 3,000 calories and you come down to 2,600 calories, your body basically just shrinks the tissue down. So you'll get down to a point where your new maintenance will be 2,600 calories, but you may lose a bunch of muscle in the process, which you worked extremely hard in the gym and in your macro counting, hitting your protein for a long time, gaining face to build. So the whole objective here has got to be to hang on to muscle. So from that point of view, what I would do is I'd gradually reduce the calories so it's more sustainable. Let's say I'm eating 3,500 calories, initially I'd go down to something manageable, like 3,300 calories, 3,200 calories. So I'm hardly starving, but I've got wiggle room. So if I need to go down further, I can still go down further without going too restrictive, right? So that's that. So you don't want to be starving, that's the thing. So you got to look at that. And so at some point, obviously I can, the scale will go down a bit, but then it will stop, because it will be the body will just adjust, so then either I can go back into a bulk again, if I'm happy with where I'm at, the body fat that's come off, or I can just cut down a bit further, or rather than cut down a bit further, I can do something like increase my steps. So that's the thing about it, guys. So the other hack I'm going to give you is, very often we mistake hunger for mild dehydration. So things like sugar-free drinks, things like water. So if you up your water to about 4 liters a day, 3.5 liters a day, you'll find that this has two effects. One, you need to get up to go bathroom. That's going to make you move more a little bit. So that's going to up your steps a bit. Second of all, sometimes we actually mistake hunger for dehydration, especially after working out. So after working out, the muscles are drained of glycogen and fluid. So they want to replace that urgently. So that makes you feel like you need to eat something, okay? It's not necessarily the case that you have to immediately eat something. It's mainly once you've had a drink that kind of for a little while goes away, or at least subsides a bit. Mild dehydration is a bit of a big one. So water, fizzy drinks are really a great hack, because they do kind of make you feel satiety, plus coffee as well, and just walking more. So unlike running, with walking actually can drain the fat off of your midsection a bit, whereas it's a low intensity type of cardio. If you go and hit up running, it's great if you enjoy running. I wouldn't say stop doing that, but that tends to be more going for the carbs that are in your bloodstream right this minute. All right, so I hope that makes sense. Whereas low intensity stuff does actually, trust me, don't ask me how I know this. It will actually target the actual fat that's stored on your body. So that's one thing. Obviously though, as with all things, there is a cutoff. If you go crazy, you start doing 30,000 steps a day, your body will adapt to you doing 30,000 steps a day. So you'll get results as long as you can keep that level of movement and activity up. But most people who have got busy jobs and stuff, Like me, I don't have a lot of spare time. I can't do that, right? I can like make excuses to walk, but I can only do it to a point, right? So I could probably do it up to like 14 to 15,000 steps on a normal average day. That's it. After that, I'm really got nowhere to go, right? Because there's only so many hours a day. I've got to work. I've got to go to the gym. You know, you don't really walk around much at the gym either. I've got to go shopping. I can maybe do a bit of walking to the shop. I can go out for a walk after dinner. Yeah, which leads me into the final one, which is the 10-minute walk after each meal. So this is not to really burn off the meal. It's just to really improve your digestion. So this will help you kind of absorb the protein and other nutrients in the food, and also it feels pretty good. If you do it after the 10 minutes, you start to feel pretty decent, and it also reduces your blood sugar a bit. So that means the cravings you get after immediately eating and you think, oh, I need a dessert, they do subside a little bit. So it kind of helps you get a bit of mental clarity before jumping into the immediate cake after the meal. You know what I mean? Any other hints I can give you guys? So keep the protein high. Try to keep protein from whole natural foods. If you do that, what is going to happen is, particularly like fish and meat, you're gonna feel a feeling of satiety, whereas like shakes and bars, they do work to a point, but they are hyper palatable, so they don't fill you up the same way, right? Trying to think anything else I can throw in here, guys. So yeah, the final point I'd say is, if you're struggling with your diet and you're getting crazy cravings, what you need to do is come out of that and have a day where you just eat a bit more and eat at a bit of a surplus to refill yourself, because it means you've been dieting a bit too hard and you need to give the body a break, because you've got to remember, restricting calories is a stressor on the body, so you want to minimize that. You want to optimize sleep as well if you can, so shut your devices off an hour before bed. Plan bedtime. Try and shut your caffeine down around about 2 p.m. I go more extreme. I shut my caffeine down at about midday when I can. I messed up that yesterday, but I ended up having a coffee about 4:30 p.m. But I still managed to sleep in the end. Particularly no energy drinks in the afternoon. Energy drinks are lethal. They will always keep you up. I think that's pretty much the majority covered. Yeah, and so protein is 1 gram per pound of body weight at least, if you want to hang on to your muscle and keep resistance training about 4 days a week regular. So alright guys, so thanks for watching, see you soon.